covering Northern California. You're watching Action News Now, coverage you can count on.
New details in the search for two missing women from Chico. Why Shasta County investigators are now working the case.
Plus, a grand jury says there are parking problems in Redding. What the city is being directed to do about it.
And detours are in store for drivers heading up the Skyway in Paradise. The next phase begins for a wildfire safety project. But first, breaking news, the CAL FIRE Butte unit is on the scene of a commercial vehicle fire that spread to vegetation in the area of Stoney Oaks Boulevard, northeast of Bangor. Again, this is what we're seeing is video from 2 hours ago, actually. Right now they've got the fire essentially out, and you see from these photos they're performing mop-up, which is good news. CAL FIRE officials say the fire was just about an acre in size, and crews were able to stop the forward progress. Crews will be on scene for about 3 hours total. The cause is still under investigation.
Also breaking, Assistant Shasta County Clerk and Registrar of Voters Joanna Franciscat announced this afternoon she was fired after 17 years working in the county's election office.
Action News Now reporter Blake Mayfield is live at the county's administration building in Redding. Blake, why did they let her go?
Alan, newly appointed County Clerk and Registrar of Voters Clint Curtis would not give me a reason as to why Francisca was fired. He says that it was his call to fire her, and that because she's an at-will employee, he was legally allowed to do so without a reason. In a Facebook post this afternoon, Francisca says that since his appointment last week, Curtis did not make any effort to meet with her or collaborate on work projects. She added that she's sad to leave a department she served for 17 years. In a text, Curtis told me he'll be searching for a new employee, but with significantly higher requirements. He's looking for someone with a college degree, along with prior elections experience. Curtis mentioned potentially hiring Ellie Lay Sharp to replace Francisca. Sharp formerly ran the elections office in Douglas City, Nevada, and was one of 5 finalists this spring for the registrar's job before it went to Curtis. District 4 Supervisor Matt Plummer, who voted for Francisca to get the job over Curtis, told us that he encourages the community to pursue and become a place that values difference in opinion and helps people maintain mutual respect during disagreements. And now, in a town hall meeting over the weekend, Curtis told a crowd of nearly 75 people that he does plan to run against Francisca for the Registrar of Voters position next June. Reporting live in Redding, I'm Blake Mayfield, Action News Now.
Thank you, Blake. This is the first major move that Curtis has made in the elections office since he was appointed and started in that position just last week. New at 6, a convicted murderer from Shasta County was sentenced today to 107 years to life in prison without the possibility of parole. Simon TQ was found guilty of murdering Maba Getachew and Gunnar Yeager in Oak Run in 2021 and robbing another victim in Redding in 2018. He was also convicted of kidnapping for robbery purposes and false imprisonment by violence. The DA's office says that TQ showed no emotion during sentencing, never looked at the victims' families, who were emotional as they addressed him and the court.
New tonight, a man was arrested in Butte County in connection to 2 vegetation fires that happened along Highway 99. CAL FIRE law enforcement officers arrested Brian Kwashanik on 2 felony counts of arson. CAL FIRE responded to Creek vegetation fire on Friday along Highway 99 near Butte Creek. Officers say they saw Kwashanik nearby and that he told officers he had not seen the fire or anybody else in the area. But 3 hours later, a second fire sparked just 10 yards away from the first one. CAL FIRE law enforcement officers found Kwashanik hiding under a bridge. He was booked into the Butte County Jail and is being held on $75,000 bail. Butte CAL FIRE says this is the 3rd arson arrest in just about a week. Now a live look from Alert California's Shasta Lake camera in Shasta County. Blue, cloudy skies overhead and really warm out there.
It was warm today for sure, and Howie Gordon joins us now with a look at our conditions right now as we head into this Tuesday evening, Howie.
All right, so we're heating up, we're drying off, so we're always keeping an eye on fire weather. Wind's not horrible today, a few spots, a little gusty, maybe up to 22 miles per hour at times. Other areas, winds on the lighter side. So just slightly breezy, but we could like to always tone this down a little bit if we don't want any fire problems. Now, here's a look at our humidity levels, relative humidity. 15% or lower, very dangerously low. We want to get to at least 45 or 50 overnight for a good recovery. So right now, not horrible. So that's on that safer side. Now, temperature-wise, we are in the 90s in a few locations. The thing is, we're going to continue to heat up because we are looking at a heat advisory later on in the week with temperatures over 100 degrees. Let's take a look at tomorrow's fire danger. So temperatures on the rise, winds going to be a little breezier. Humidity levels, they're coming down a little bit too low for our liking, but with the winds not that bad and moisture levels still decent, we'll keep our fire risk on the low side. But we're really going to see those temperatures skyrocket. We'll talk all about that coming up in just a few minutes.
Thanks, Howie.
Well, new tonight, the Butte County Sheriff's Office arrested a man for making guns in Magalia at a home on Guilford Circle near Carnegie Road. Last Sunday, a deputy contacted this parolee, Micah Metzger, at his home there. Metzger has been previously convicted of manufacturing guns. Deputies searched the home and say they found suspicious items like an unsterilized AR-15 that was in the process of being completed, ballistic vests, gun manufacturing equipment parts, and other accessories.
New at 6, Butte County supervisors today adjusted services fees across dozens of county departments. Action News Now reporter Margot Rowe shows us how you could be affected.
Whether you're looking to obtain a permit through the county or use any of Butte County services, the Board of Supervisors made changes to the master fee schedule, which means that permit or those services could cost you more or it could cost you less. Supervisor Todd Kimmelshoe explained to me that every 5 to 7 years, the county adjusts its service fees to adjust with the county cost. This year's fees went up across the board in multiple departments, with some fees going down or not changing at all.
We hired a consultant to come in and look at our fee schedule and then determine how many hours each department uses when it comes to these different tasks that we charge fees for. And we came up with some new fees, and what happens is some of them are lower, some of them are higher, just depending on how many man hours that we use in order to achieve these tasks.
During the meeting, county supervisors made efforts to keep certain fees low, but many of the service fees will rise.
We're not wild about incurring new fees to the citizens of Butte County. However, we believe it is necessary in order to make sure that we can cover the costs of these tasks.
The service fee changes will go into effect before the end of the year. Reporting in Orrville, I'm Margot Rowe for Action News Now.
The last time that the county updated the master fee schedule was in 2017.
New details: the vehicle belonging to the 2 missing Chico women has been located. The Butte County Sheriff's Office confirms 84-year-old Dolores Sakamoto and her 64-year-old daughter Vivian Luna's vehicle was found in a remote area off Interstate 5. This was back in March. The remains of 2 people were also found there. We've been following this story since the women were reported missing on July 21st, 2024. The Butte County Sheriff's Office conducted an investigation and say they have no evidence that the missing persons cases are suspicious at this time. The Shasta County Sheriff's Office will determine the cause and manner of death of those people found with the car. Happening in just 1 hour, PG&E will begin undergrounding power lines on Skyway from Wagstaff Road to Rocky Lane in Paradise.
The work will happen at night, most nights from 7 p.m. to 6 a.m. and continue along the roadway until mid-July. Customer rates have increased over the years to pay for wildfire safety projects, but PG&E says people in the Campfire Burn Scar are not paying for the lines to go underground there. If you live in Paradise, you'll still be able to drive through the Skyway during construction, but if you don't have to, you'll take a detour.
It makes a minor inconvenience. You have to go other ways. I actually don't mind that per se. I understand that work takes a long time. I know that some people wanted all the underground work to get done sooner, but until you've worked and actually done that, you don't realize how long some of that stuff does take.
So to clarify, if you are a Paradise resident, you can go on the Skyway. Otherwise, you will have to take a detour. PG&E says burying power lines eliminates nearly all wildfire ignition risk. No work will happen Sundays or on major holidays. A look at distracted driving dangers as we kick off a new series focusing on traffic safety.